think that he should move on from United. I don't think that United, I can't say he's grown bigger than United, obviously not, but I think that he should look away from United. Find another club that wants to sign you. Go and be happy elsewhere. Focus on life elsewhere. Focus on your football elsewhere. I think United also, honestly, I think United have moved on from players like Rashford. So that's why I think he shouldn't be looking at United again.
Okay, let's pay bills. We'll be back. The action continues.
This is it. The moment millions of fans around the world have been waiting for.
You get football stuff in football season.
Mayu Destroyer, you are welcome. Or you come in on Oka for the one that called Mayu Destroyer 2 go. You are highly welcome. You can send your account number. Yeah. For Marco Rashford, I cannot go feel like you. Make that guy no go back to Mayu. Because if Mayu do that guy, now we think they call Emobi Oluwakoga. This guy do that. When they free Lucas, Emobi Oluwakoga, now Mayu do Marco Rashford. It does not be match Barcelona where a baba, but now Rashford nowhere to be found. You know, say cow where trailer smash for grass. There's no any other person that can know how to make use of it than Mesuya. No, say Mesuya normally slash their cow. When the cat trailer match up for Ghana, only Mesuya can do it. Now only Barcelona can be able to revive Marco Rashford. If Marco Rashford still go back to Mayu, in fact, you don't know what they do. And this my young man, Femi Paka. I'm telling you, you are point. Because Mayu is a destroyer people, they're a destroy player. Look at James Sigurd. I bet after you get back to me where James Sigurd they play now. That's what they do so well. When they play Mayu, out of full season, score 1 goal. He go for West Ham, he score 8 goals. Come back to Mayu, he come to Major Ewujakpo, which is in that alone, which is Dublin. All those things where Mayu they do people. That it make me wear my wagame, no other way. Where I carry Mayu matter go now to Mupo. That's why today, I see Chelsea go demolish Mayu. They go destroy Mayu. They go massacre Mayu. They go do Mayu many things. Thank you very much, my brother. Yele ECK. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that one. This brother, he's okay. All right, game is kicked off, of course, in the Premier League. The game between Brentford and Fulham. It is goalless at the moment. We're in the 7th minute. In the Championship, Portsmouth against Leicester City is goalless. And Millwall already lead against a QPR 1-0. Yes, I can tell you for certain that Derby County against Oxford United, that game is still goalless as well in the Championship. Let's go for more contributions. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, this is George calling from Old Trafford here in Lekki.
Hello, George. Welcome.
Thank you. So, I think if I'm to say something right now, it will be as if I'm repeating what that your colleague said. Because your colleague said almost virtually everything.
Okay.
So, the truth of the matter is that let him find somewhere else. There's no vacancy in Old Trafford right now.
Okay.
So this last caller, he knows the wine himself. I've been known as if I'm hungry the area. I've been the wine himself.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Leave it at that, please. Let's not go too far. But yes, we're looking at the situation right there as far as this one is concerned. Sacha Lukic, by the way, has picked up a yellow card for Fulham already after pulling a Kevin Schade back. Yes, he's picked up a yellow in the game. Early moments, but yes, a yellow card already recorded against the Fulham in this game. Let's, of course, go for more calls on the show. Yes, we're looking at Marcus Rashford. If you think he deserves another chance at United, I think this conversation is always going to come up the moment there's a new coach. Everybody wants to know his opinion on the matter. If he's going to be, the kind of guy who will say, you know what, I don't mind having him back and all of that stuff. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Solution on the line.
Solution, how are you today?
I'm very fine.
Good.
You see, for Rashford, I don't think he needs to go back to Man. No, say when he did there in a different order, now things don't change. And Rashford will be happy sitting on the place in Barca than Man. If he comes to Man United, he would like to be starting, and that will cause another problem. So I think maybe if Barca cannot retain him, he should look for another place where he will be happy. He will come back, he will still be the same old blood. So I think we should.
Okay. Thank you for that one. He says he cannot improve the team. He's just going to be the same old guy coming back to the team and really asking what's the point. Yes, says what's the point having a guy like Rashford back in the side when he really cannot change anything as far as that one is concerned. But then again, you look at his numbers this season. Okay, let's go for it and take more calls on the show. Yes, more contributions are coming in. Also on WhatsApp, this one here says, good afternoon, Femi. It says, I was not going to comment on this topic until you said Rashford should stay there. He should not stay there. He has shown us that he is not good enough backup for Rafinha. I don't think he's worth the amount of money United are asking for. Taiwo from Manchester. Again, you will not find a lot of players, or you will not find players who will give you 25 goals contribution on loan, and then you'll be expecting that. Like, what are you people expecting exactly? That he should do 40 goals and assist that he's never done in his life to prove to Barcelona that he's good enough? For 30 million euros, I think that's a decent fee. But I can understand where Barca
just don't have the money.
I can understand where they are at the moment,
and even if they have the money, I don't think they are also not willing to dole it out on Rashford. It's simple.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that Barca don't have 30 million to sign him, but they are looking
nobody says they have to pay at once.
But they are looking at the fact that
structured.
But they are looking at it that, I mean, we can bring in somebody else. Go for maybe a better player. So
there's a Hausa term, amore. It is loosely translated into when you weirdly enjoy something. This is
they are enjoying him, but they don't want to pay for it.
This is amore.
They sweet them, but they don't want to pay.
When they don't more and finish, this is don't end.
Tell us, don't squeeze them in. You they go.
See how that be this. Seriously, I've thought about it and I honestly feel sorry for the guy, but I mean, that's why we're talking about him here. So yes, make your contributions and let's hear you as we take a look at our very first topic on today's edition of A Football Live. This one here says, good day VQ and Femi, my name is Wilson, a United fan. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Rashi and I love the chemistry between him and Bruno during our counter-attacking moments in those days. I really missed him personally as a United fan, but the onus is upon the club and the manager if they will reinstate him back in the squad or not. We, the fans, don't have power to control what happens in the glass house. But whatever the decision that comes out of this saga, I'll be cool with it, he says. I'll be cool with it, and I wish Rashi nothing but love. Thanks, guys. Vicky, please, what about Joseph? Joseph actually is on leave. Yes, Joseph is on leave. It's been a long time I heard from him on air. Yes, Joseph is actually taking a few days off to rest. Yes, he'll be away for like 2 weeks. Yes, you won't hear him for 2 weeks and then he will be back, okay? Yes, he's proceeded on his leave. Yes, that's why you've not heard Joseph, okay? 090-41,889, 090-44,889. And yes, conversations around Rashford is what we're looking at this point in time. Again, given his numbers this season, I don't think that is so bad. Yes.
Well, Vicky, you already explained what's going on. Honestly, personally, I think that they should retain him. I think that Barcelona should retain him because,
bro,
so
I woke up this morning and I grabbed my phone to check out something. I got a message from home, so I was responding to the message. Of course, the moment you turn on data, because I usually turn it off to sleep, else my phone will be buzzing. So I turned it off. I turned it on and messages were dropping, and then I saw a link. I clicked on it and I saw that Barcelona are looking at Muriqi as the backup for Lewandowski. Good striker. But I think if you are looking at that Muriqi level, you're taking yourself out of that conversation of you are going to create a lot of chances, you are going to score a lot of goals, but Muriqi will not be good enough for you to put him in that place where you want to force him to be what he is not.
Yeah, and if
Because
you can,
when
and
it
if,
comes to that environment, you start looking at if he's going to be giving you world-class performances.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
and if you can be looking at that person, that kind of a player's way.
Your standard don't drop.
Where to come do Rashford?
You don't accept, say, your standard don't drop. And if you're looking at a guy like Muriqi, again, for the amount of matches we play, I think they should get a world-class striker, a quality striker, who guarantees you 30, 35 goals, and maybe all goals contributions, maybe 40, 45 if he can't do those numbers. If not, then you can get a guy like that and then Rashford as a backup.
Yeah.
Because again, he tries to play different positions for you. He goes to the left, he goes to the right, he plays centrally in the attack. I think that's fair enough. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have him as a squad member, as a squad player. But these things are usually passed on like you don't need the person until the situation necessitates it. And that's when everybody hits that panic button of where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
I mean, Rashford was going to be surplus requirement,
Bro,
not until when Rafinha got injured.
Bro, do you remember last season that Szczęsny had announced his retirement from football completely?
Yeah.
And then there was an injury to what's this man? Ter Stegen.
Yeah.
And then they could not trust the other guy because he was a kid coming from the academy and they could not trust him to carry on, and then they brought Szczęsny. And Szczęsny did the job. Again, they didn't foresee that was going to be the situation. But out of that, they were able to get something and they proceeded in the course of the competition. And then they signed the guy they've always wanted to sign from Espanyol. And, Szczęsny has to be hogging the bench now. But these are the things that usually happen. I don't think for a guy who new culture, new environment, and he's doing 25 goals contribution, I don't think it is bad.
Yeah.
I just think, again, the other part I do not like about this conversation is that I think the player already feels that he's not wanted.
Yeah.
That they don't want him at the club, and at the end of the loan he's going to walk. And so it's too much work for him because
he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to
to impress. And so he works extra hard because it's first in his head. And I don't think that's a comfortable place to be in. When I have to let me have something because I deserve it, right? And even if I have to work for it, sometimes that's why people go as far as putting some of these number clauses in their contract. Say if I do 25 goals contribution, you are paying me so bonus and you are signing me permanently.
Yeah.
But in this case, he didn't have that. Maybe he also didn't believe he could clock all these numbers. But again,
I mean, I think that at that time when he left United, he just wanted to escape.
See,
he just wanted to move.
And the part I hate the most about this conversation, maybe hate is a strong word now, but the part I dislike the most about this conversation is it is only when Barcelona doesn't win that Rashford is the problem. I think it is bad. I think it is bad. If you do not win, it's not tennis. Don't make it a one-man problem. Yes, one man can make a mistake.
Yeah, one man can. Yeah,
but
one can.
Can we just move on? I usually do not like to pick out people and throw under the bus and say, "Now this person make us lose the match." It happens, yes. It's glaring, yes, but maybe it could have happened. Maybe it was meant to happen.
And sometimes when it also happens when somebody was the architect of why you lost the game, sometimes teams or fans have favorite players.
They do,
and so if not their favorite player do
no problem.
They go just they not go they happy normally, but they just let it slide. But if a player would say they don't get question mark on.
I only have a problem with when a player is not willing to change that thing about themselves. Nicola Jackson had like 3 red cards in his first season at Chelsea. He had fights here and there, had this, had that. If you don't get 1 red card, me and you as player don't talk. Whether as coach or your captain, all of us don't follow you talk. We expect that even if that is ever going to happen, maybe you're already on a yellow and you do tactical foul.
And even if you're getting red cards from decision that you made in the game, it's different. But if na fight,
exactly.
say you dey fight, you dey cause trouble, now we dey give red card. that means you get attitude problem. No be what they do on the pitch. Now they give red card. So
so again, I look at all of these things sometimes and I say, okay, there's a way we can go about it. But I think the kid is giving as much as he can give. I don't think he's done badly. But again, I'm not the one to rate. I'm not the one to judge. I'm not the one to decide what will happen from here on. But let's see what will happen. But we're asking this afternoon on Football Live, does he deserve another chance at United? Do you think United should open the doors and embrace the man and say, okay, now that Barca didn't work out, you can come back. Home is where the heart is. And why not? We're still here for you. Do you think United should look at that option? Carrick has not closed the door, but he didn't want himself to be dragged into that conversation. Personally, I would have felt it was too early for him to be discussing that, because again, why are you discussing that when the assignment you were given was to finish the season?
It's not even in this place to discuss it.
So again, of course, you'll be asked such questions, and there will hardly be any hiding place for you when you go to press conferences and then they throw these questions at you.
Well, I think he's giving the most
diplomatic answer.
Diplomatic answer,
I think so.
That's it. He's not in the position to bring him back. I know that if the club also wants to bring him back, he probably will have a say in it, because if he also gets the job on the permanent as the permanent manager of the team, they're probably going to ask him, oh, we're looking at this guy. Can you handle him? Do you want him back in the squad? And if whatever he says, will probably have a bigger, will cast a bigger shadow on their decision if they are going to bring him back or they're just going to let him, go. The truth is that if Barca do not want him, or if Barca by the end of the season does not or cannot conform to or cannot agree with United to maybe a payment pattern of 30 million or 25 million, I don't know how much, I think 25 to 30 million, that's what they're asking for on Marcus Rashford, I can assure you that he's still a United player, and one way or the other United will still have to pay him. They'll still have to be paying him. So for United, they are also not in a place where him not having a club favors them, especially if they don't want him back too. So if they don't want him back also, I'm sure he's speaking to his see, Rashford will probably get club in France, even in Germany. But then moving from United to Barcelona, it looks like your standard has not reduced as a player. You played at United and now you are at Barcelona. So you are not far off in terms of the standard of the club that you are in. But if you go to some French club, from some German clubs right now, you might probably be falling off. Maybe Eintracht Frankfurt, and some of those guys will not even pay 30 million for you. So United might not even make the kind of money. So it's also United interest that they pay them, that they probably let him go to Barcelona, or that Barcelona are ready to pay. And you said something about payment pattern. Maybe they can actually do that with United and all that. Maybe United also want their money cash and carry. Yes. Maybe they want, you get what you want our money for. You want they pay us maybe that 10 million. You want first pay us 10 million. What you want 10 million buy? So they might have interest. Say if we buy this guy for 30 million, we have like 10 million on it, or maybe another 20 million on it. We can buy something else. So
okay. Again, it depends on how United negotiate this thing. I think it is for that. This time last year we were talking about don't demarket the player because the money will not be where it is supposed to be. And whether you agree or not, that sort of happened because Aston Villa was supposed to pay 40 million pounds to have him permanently. Now it is 26. Barca are dragging their foot for. And he showed me say if that money reduced to like 15, Barca no go mind pay. I just want to commit plenty resources into him. Again, but I think let's live with what we live with and see how that goes. We're also entering a World Cup year where after the World Cup, players will barely have enough time to rest before pre-season will kick off again. So we might have situations where a lot of these players will not be at their very best when the time comes, and then there'll be questions around, can he do it, can he not do it, and all of that stuff. But again, Marcus Rashford, you think he should be given another chance at United? That, of course, is the topic we're looking at on Football Live right here on your Champions Dial Sports Radio Bula FM. And yes, let's, of course, get right into it on the show. Gunners, it's not over till it's over. And it's still Arsenal all the way. To celebrate this great season, Chivas Regal, the official whiskey partner of Arsenal FC, is giving away an official Arsenal jersey signed by Victor Gyökeres, Martin Zubimendi, and Mikel Merino. Now here's your challenge. Build your ultimate five-a-side Arsenal FC team with any era of Arsenal players. Invincibles, Emirates era, hybrid days. Mix it up. Be creative. Show us you know Arsenal. Drop your lineup in the comment section of the pinned post on the official Chivas Regal NG page on Instagram and X. The comment with the most likes wins the jersey. Hurry now. Let's see who's really a gunner for life. I rise, we rise. Remember to drink Chivas responsibly. Let's go for more of the comments. This one. Ade says, I honestly think that his numbers are not bad. But the problem is that we are facing a side that, because of the financial issues they are facing, they are making it look difficult. I can assure you that Isak came for 125 and we have not seen those goals. So as a Liverpool fan, it is hurting me because those goals will probably have put us somewhere now. Okay, I mean, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Vicky and Femi, please. Wilson, the United fan here again. He says, as a Barcelona fan, Rashi for me, I think Barca's management and the fans are being unfair to Rashi. They are trying to gaslight him and portray a perception that he's not good enough. Perhaps because of how financial, the financial incapabilities of Barcelona and what he has done to them. So they want United to either lower the offer, lower the initial fee as agreed, or return him back to United. Yes, this player is almost with 30 goals contributions in all competitions, and I'm sure that's not a bad number, despite the fact that he starts from the bench virtually all the games he played. How many of their current attackers have such good numbers? Yes, such good return. These Barca are looking for Oshofri. They should get that. Rashi is not the cause of their problems. Okay, Wilson, this one is coming from you. This one says, for me, I do not want Rashford back at United. He's moved on and United has equally. Yes, United has equally. He's agreeing to come back, probably because Barcelona are not ready to retain him, and that they want a United. Yes, and he wants a United return. If a big club comes knocking on him, I bet Rashford will jump on it. Jump on that rather than returning to United. His heart is no longer with us, and we are cool with that. He should look elsewhere. I'm still Johnson Divine, a United fan. How do you know where his heart is? You have special powers to see things. Good afternoon, Brilla. This one says, good afternoon, top man in the studio. Adams from Akoka, he says, this Rashford matter, na risky one. Oh, if the guy comes back to Man United now, and Man United return back to their inconsistency, believe me, the whole United fans will consider him the major problem, especially if they feature him for games and they lost the game. Barca, on the other hand, yes, are really being unfair in this deal. A lone player doing 24 plus goal contribution, yet Barca are still playing mind games with the young man. This is unfair. Yes, he said this is too unfair. Man, you should not give him another chance, since they are appearing. Yes, they are appearing. Okay, they are appearing fine with him. They are appearing fine without him. Okay, I guess you're trying to say. Says they should allow this man to go where he is happy. Rashford needs a less pressure side. life can be so unfair sometimes. I mean, if you're hoping to live life without pressure, I don't know where you're going to find it. I don't know where you're going to find it. But yes, looking at the Marcus Rashford situation is exactly what we're talking about at this point in time. Let's say, okay, well, let him go. Oh, let him stay. Again, maybe it has reached that point where United should consider writing off a bad debt and say, you know what, we can pay this guy off and just let him go. Let's look at the contract and let's reach an agreement. We'll meet him halfway. He'll meet us halfway. We can terminate the contract and just pay him off. It will be a bitter way to do it. But
I also think that, again, I said the other time that might also happen if if probably the manager will probably be the permanent manager by the beginning of next season or by after this season also maybe says he doesn't want him. But if manager says he wants him and he can handle him, and Barcelona are not turning up, they probably might just keep him and let him come back and all of that. But if the hierarchy of the club say they want to move on from him, and also he also says, I want to move on and all of that, it's not hard. I thought I wish may they collect more money on top of him. United have spent money on him because now home base player. They probably made him, they paid for things for him, they paid him salaries and all of that, and they're trying to even say at all, even if not 20 million, I've been at 25 million, I've been 30 million, maybe we just collect on this guy. Let's just know that we made some money on him and keep him moving. If they are not willing to, even if now 15 million, we want to collect and be 20, we want to collect and make it go.
Okay.
You are not making a lot of gain, but you are also, would you rather not make any money on him at all than just letting him go? I'm just terminating the contract and just letting him go. It's more reasonable that you make money from him and let him go, and then you keep him moving than you don't make any money on him.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. 09041,889, 09044,889. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm only making Monday from Monday.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, we're still talking about Marcus Rashford.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you say nobody what you have until you lose it. My people does not know, although it's from the coach. How can you get such a great player like this? He's leaving that much Rashford to bench. It's unfair. It's a wonderful player. But the main thing, the person that's working is not giving Rashford what he needs. That's why all these people, keep on criticizing the young guy. It's a wonderful player. Understand? So you have Rashford here, keeping him for bench for what? Then after the control, you say this one is a problem. Rashford will never be a bad player for once if I know Rashford. So coming to Manchester United, it does not mean anything. They have to leave their club. They have done the thing they have done on that stage. No need for him to enter Manchester United again because before the loss, they don't talk say him and the Garnacho. The faction from the Barcelona or whatsoever. Understand? So the team come make the team say they have the issue quarreling now this and that. So the young man is not finding it good over there in Man U. And the people that he's working with is not also, they are not happy with them. So there's no need for him to come back for the team. You have to find any other team that he can be able to give you what he needs. He can go on. Because when in Barcelona, where he did land, it is the Man U better pass Barcelona. Barcelona cannot even come for bad player. Any good player that Barcelona, Real Madrid, top team in the world, can go for it. Look at him, really great over there. That is my thought. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. For a guy who's also, maybe when the conversation extends to some certain quarters, people will say, oh, he's the 13th highest goal scorer all time for United, and he deserves a bit of that respect. I mean, I have also said, if I were United and we really want, because the moment the loan deal doesn't work out, he's coming back to his parent club, and that's how these things are structured. If United doesn't want him, have a conversation with him even before the World Cup and say, guy, Afa, let's terminate this thing and let's pay you off. I think it gets them out of, so that when you talk about Rashford, you can say former United player and not on loan from Man United to everything that ties him to United. It will be a painful one, but it's something you should do, especially when people are not moving in the same direction. Reach an agreement and cut ties and let him go make something out of his own career himself and whatever he chooses to do. Yeah. I think his numbers can still be very good. Again,
I mean, he's 28, so
you now find people.
He has 5 years to still give.
You now find
football.
people turning their noses when it involves him, especially clubs in the Premier League. I think again, United were at fault when the same money you agreed for Barcelona, when teams in the Premier League were interested, you were still insisting on 40 until those guys said, okay, you know what, no need. That was when you now took something way less than that. And I think, it was not such a good way to look at it. But again, these things happen sometimes and you just want to move on and say, okay. But I think the best time to have sold the player was 2 seasons ago or last season. Okay, last season maybe. Aston Villa didn't trigger the option. In fact, Villa are doing the same thing with what's his name, Harvey Elliott now. Yes, they are doing the same thing with him. Unai Emery has come out to say he's a good player, but play him now, agree. Say you guys don't have that amount of money to pay at the end of the season. You'll have to look for cheaper options and all of that stuff. Again, these are the issues. 090-41,889, 090-44,889. You could also leave your messages on WhatsApp. 090-44,889 is where you can leave your messages. Good afternoon, guys. Morgan, this one is from you. He says, I think Rashford is not good enough. Just look at what Firmino is doing at Barca. He should go back to United. Okay. Now, not them. He's not good enough. Lewandowski is good enough, but his best days are behind him. Can we also agree? Because if we can agree that Lewandowski's best days are behind him, then you should not be expecting peak Suarez from a Rashford that you have seen his career. His best career was that one he had under Ten Hag, where he did about 30 goals plus. And after that time, okay, we've actually struggled to see the best of him when he came up with this celebration. Let's, of course, take more of the contributions coming in on the show this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Vicky, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
I greet you.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Jose the Chase Martin.
Jose, you're welcome.
Let me dive in. To me, the problem with Rashford right now is the huge wages is currently on. Yeah, I think if his wages are above £300,000 as it stands now. So to me, that is the big challenge. I don't think most of these big clubs in Europe are willing presently to be paying such huge numbers. Even United themselves, I don't think they want to have players that earn as much as above 300,000. To me, that's the big challenge. I don't know whether Rashford is willing to reduce his weekly wages as he stands now. I don't know. I don't have that information. So to me, that's the major impediment, the major obstacle towards Rashford, being hooked up by any big European club. That's my own take. Because for me, for a player that is on loan, that is not even starting games, that always comes from the bench to have 30 plus goals,
25 plus,
a great number.
25 goals
it's a great number.
Yeah.
A great number. So have a nice day.
Okay, thank you so much. Fantastic points by that brother there. He said, as far as he's concerned, maybe the wages is what is proving to be a problem.
I mean, that's also a thing. But honestly, if he also wants to move, I guess he would have to take a pay cut. That's the sincerity. I mean, if the team, that's why I said the other when I said United can, like you advised, United can find a way to have some sort of sit down with him, get the contract terminated, and keep him moving on from there, and just pay him off and let him go and all of that. But if they're also willing to say, you know what, we still want to make money on you, he also must, if the club is ready to drop down from that 30 million that they are probably asking for, and they say, you know what, let's take 20, give us 20 and let him go, he also must be ready to make sacrifice too. Yes. Because for Barcelona, for example, one of the reasons why they are where they are right now was because of the humongous
contract
they were doling out at some point.
Yeah.
And so I guess that with the new administration of Juan Laporta, things have changed. They're not going to dole out money just because you're a player. They're going to dole out money because yes, you deserve to earn that money. And for a player like Rashford, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve £300,000 or above that. I'm not saying that. But if you really want to move, you also have to make sacrifices. I mean, maybe reduce your money to like 200 something. I mean, you have to give something, because as it stands right now, any club that Rashford goes at this point, except he's going to the Saudis or he's going to America, if he's not going to those two countries, any club that he's going to go to at this point, they are going to cut down his wages. In fact, I am really interested to know how much he earns exactly. I really want to know how much, because the fact is that these guys cannot meet up. He earns £325,000. Yes, €325. That's what he earns, and that is what some clubs cannot pay. So he needs to probably cut down to like maybe 250. For them to probably look his way. And even some clubs will even cut it down more than that. Some of them will probably go to like 200. So if he's ready to make sacrifice from his end also, maybe the job will be easier for clubs like Barcelona to also look at him and say, you know what, maybe we can just, since he's going to cut down his wages, maybe we can also fulfill to pay the money that the club is asking for.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Of course, if that could be one of the things that we might consider at the end of the day, looking at the situation with Marcus Rashford. We'll take a final round of calls regarding this same particular talking point, and then of course we will switch gears to more of the talking points coming in on the show today. Yes, let's let you know that 41 minutes on the clock. Alex Iwobi is on the turf. He's been attended to by the medics, and the game is currently goalless, but it looks like he's definitely going to continue. Yes, it doesn't look hurt. It's not going to continue. Samuel Chukwueze is coming in. Iwobi is going off straight. He got up, can walk well, but really doing it slowly. Looks like he's pulled something. Not sure. Can be hamstring, can be groin, because he appears to be walking well. Maybe something is wrong. But Samuel Chukwueze is about to come on to replace the Nigerian. Yes, a Nigerian up for another one. Samuel Chukwueze, in this case, coming in for Alex Iwobi, as that game right there continues at the G-Tech. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, try again, and let's of course talk to you on the show this afternoon as the action continues on Football Live. Still taking you closer to the action, and yes, hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Femi, Victor, my brother.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, Femi, I agree to you.
Welcome.
Yeah, exactly what Femi just talk. My name is Ode Efosa, also known as Barcelona First of Kobioko. You can call me Mayu Destroyer, or you call me Noah Okafor, the one that destroy Mayu to go. Yeah, this Mayu. My brother, you see what Femi talk now is exactly. If Mayu can be able to reduce the weight, even Rashford, you know, say, when you see December 3rd, the back cloth, that cloth will be 10,000 naira. He get where he go reach, the man go look at, say, if this thing reach next year January now, I'll go get that to the B, or one boy. What he go do now? They go put am for go price. That thing of 10,000, they go put am 5,000. One, may he fit sell am. So next season, go fit bring another container. For me, make them bring the money down. When they bring the money down, we can be able to stand up. Not the person where we go revive, we call put more money again. No, it don't be like that. Remember, when you in our community, if you give person gold to take care of you for you, if he bought pikin, he get as the sharer. They not go see who senior now, who take care of that gold that they see. So So now he go take the highest. So now we supposed to be favored. Like this Rashford be 30 million this thing, we go pay like 50. Then they go leave 50 for us before we try a lot for we to make her be what it be today. If that's what I know welcome Rashford now for play like Enyiba or Wayamu or Kalopila. Now then Rashford for day now. So for me, make them come out the way so we can be able to pay. No say we don't get money, we dey manage ourselves. Club where go get money where they will drop it, how we be. This is now we go still celebrate La Liga. When man you go reach 30 years coming, they no go spend Premier League. Thank you very much.
You don't try. Thank you. Like, can you just make contribution without having a dig at Man United?
It be like say he get personal problem.
You don't take this thing, no. You don't take this thing, no. Tell me today. Okay, yes, the action continues. Your Champion Star Sports Radio Live family is Football Live. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
I was calling from Jakonde.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Rashford is a good player, and definitely when Rashford just making his debut, he was my favorite player at Man U, but all of a sudden he became something different. But nevertheless, I think Rashford is still a good player. If Man U can bring him back, he will be a good additional to that sport again. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you for that one on the show this afternoon, as we're still taking more contributions looking at the particular situation. 2 minutes have been added to the game between Brentford and Fulham, and it is still a goalless affair right there. Yes, it is 45 and 2 minutes have been added, as Brentford are still doing everything possible to see if they take the lead in this game. But yes, that has not played out so far. Ooh, that was close. Kim Louis Porter almost from a corner situation. Shada brought it down, teed up Louis Porter. Louis Porter, of course, was able to drag it back and had a means-to-meet roll on his backside, actually, before, of course, aimed a shot at goal. Or it was Tom Kiney, I beg your pardon, of course, before he had a shot on goal. But that did not end up in the back of the net as it went over the bar in this situation. Let's take more. We have more calls coming in. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
No, you can't hear us. You can't hear us. Obviously cannot. Let's take this one here. This one says, good afternoon, VQ. For me, Rashford isn't good enough for Barca. Or at least he doesn't fit into the playing style. He's always running into a brick wall whenever he attempts to dribble. He's a mere average player. Barca shouldn't be spending that amount of money on him, but rather on established a centre forward to replace Lewandowski. Fred from Ikorodu. Fred, you people, the money you spent on Antoine Griezmann and what's his name, Coutinho, you don't forget, Abi. Okay. Griezmann said you even gave it back to where you got him. You say Atletico take. This one says where market Uche from Agric, he says when market be owed, you have to bring it down so you can sell it out. Okay. In this case, Rashford, I guess, when market don't to take for your hand, but you'll have to bring it. I've never owned a shop before, so I can understand you people using the market analogy. I've never owned a shop myself, so I don't know how it feels like. But let's take a break on the show this afternoon. Yes, let's take a break. When we come back, of course, more exciting things to talk about. It's halftime also in the Premier League. Yes, it's halftime in that game. No winners at halftime. In the Turkish Super League, Karagümrük lead. Sorry, they trail 1-0. 1-2. I beg your pardon. They were leading 1-0 earlier. They surrendered that lead to Eyüpspor. 2-1 it is right now. And that, of course, is the scoreline as far as that game is concerned in the Chinese Super League. Dilian Yingbo, of course, they trail 1-0 against Henan Chongchang. And let's let you know that Shanghai Shenhua lead 2-0 against Liaoning Tianren. There'll be more after this timeout. Stay with us.
get football stuff in football season.
Brilliant Sports Radio.
88.9 Brilla FM.
Check it out, y'all.
Go! And they've scored!
All right, that was pretty good.
Brilla FM, always on the ball.
This is the home of sport.
Sports Radio, 88.9 Brilla FM.
Football Live returns this
season without a major title has returned for the following campaign, and that was Zinedine Zidane. Now, how damaging is the Champions League exit for Real Madrid? How damaging is the Champions League exit for Real Madrid? That's the question, and that is the conversation right now on Football Live. 090-44,889, 090-41,889. The question is, how damaging is this exit from the Champions League for Real Madrid? If you ask me, for me, I believe strongly that it's not a good thing for them, because potentially, I've said this before, that potentially the Champions League looked like the only realistic trophy that Real Madrid could have won this season. They're out of the Copa del Rey, and just like I told you, and like while I was trying to bring up that question to you, the first game of Arbeloa in charge was against Albacete. That game, he lost it. That was in the Copa del Rey, right? And for a club like Real Madrid, the Copa del Rey is not even the standard. That's not the standard. If you don't win the Copa del Rey as a Madrid manager, and you probably win the league title and also you win the Champions League, they probably might look away from you and just let you be, because again, you've won the biggest trophies available for a club of that status. But it looks like for Real Madrid, they didn't understand how important the game against Bayern Munich was for them. That second leg game was for them in Germany when they went away. Yes, you would say that in the first 45 of that game, it was end-to-end stuff. And then we saw what they did. But then, potentially, that was the only realistic trophy that was available for them to win this season. Barcelona are leading the La Liga table. There's nothing, as it stands right now, Barcelona needs to just probably win a few more games, and they're champions already. And they are going to play them in an El Clasico. That is next month, May 10th. That's when that El Clasico is going to happen. By the time that game was going to happen, Barcelona most likely would have probably, consolidated on their win already, and already might just be leading the title, or might have the title already. And so that might not mean much. That game might not mean much. That game most likely will just be an ego game. It's just going to be, for the record, just, let's go there, fight it out, don't lose to them, you two don't lose to them. That's just what's going to happen. And so for me, it was damaging that they were knocked out of the Champions League. For 2 seasons now, Madrid are on the verge of going trophyless. For 2 seasons, they are on the verge of going trophyless. And I think that one thing that is sure is that the hierarchy of the club, especially Florentino Perez, they need to sit down and see that something is wrong here. It looks like they are not paying attention to the larger picture of what's going on at the club. If a club as big as Real Madrid went trophyless last season, and this season they are going trophyless again, then you need to sit down and see that something is wrong somewhere. I mean, last season we saw City. City didn't have a trophy last season also. Yes, City didn't win a single trophy last season. But this season, they've won one already. Yes. They have one title in the bag already, which is the Carabao Cup. They've won that already. The FA Cup, most likely, they will do something with it and probably win it also. And so, you begin to then imagine how important, or how, how big this damage is to a side like Real Madrid by, crashing out of the Champions League. Vicky?
Yeah, I think time has come for Real Madrid to have a rethink. I think whether with the quality of players that they have, or with the quality of coaches that they've recruited over the years, especially under Zidane and Carlo, they've been able to manage some certain situations in such a way that, because they have also had success in the course of managing such situations, they have become so used to it. Because just because you get away with something when you're supposed to actually fix it and, you know, change the course of how it should work for you, I don't think you should make it the norm, right? Because there are players who are there who are quality players, and the supporting cast are not just up to it. You look at the Champions League, you have 15 in the bag, and this is a competition where you show up every year, and from before the draws are even done, there's a certain consideration that is apportioned to Real Madrid, because they believe that once it gets to a certain level of this competition, these guys begin to show up. You've done 2 quarterfinals knockout right now. I think this is the right time to press the reset button. A couple of things that they have done that have worked for them in the past, it looks like those things are no longer working, and maybe you should do a proper recruitment. In the free transfers you were doing, and in some of those that you had to dole out money for, especially in the Jude Bellingham situation, you doled out money, yes. But some of the guys, David Alaba suffered an injury, and it turned out that recovery took its toll on the player, and we may not see the best of him anymore. I mean, you probably would write that off, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure we're going to see prime David Alaba again. Maybe towards the twilight of his career we might see a bit of that, but I don't think it's going to be the real thing that we'll see again and say to ourselves that this guy used to be that man that we all thought he would be. Militao, I think the quality might just stay, but if we're expecting that fantastic athletes to still come out of a guy who's done 2 ACLs, I am skeptical about it. Rudiger is done really well. Again, it's hard to sustain the hunger at that level and keep everybody, you know, primed up for what is to come. And I think they have fallen off, even though they have succeeded once or twice. They have fallen off of that prime Real Madrid side that Zidane did the Champions League, back to back with. I think they've fallen off that quality, because back then, you look at the defense, there was a Ramos, and Varane was still playing peak football as Varane. I mean, gave his best years there, so you will not say Varane is not a quality player. Of course he was, and did his best there. There was Marcelo at some point. There was CR7. Benzema came off his shadows much later to, of course, help the team and power, but yes, he was there at the time. Gareth Bale was there. Luka Modric was at the peak of his powers. What's his name? Toni Kroos was there as well. All of these guys. But if you look at the quality right now, I think a lot has changed, and we used to know them to be the Galacticos. I mean, everyone is familiar with Real Madrid and that name. So if you now have a few guys who are actually the Galacticos and the others are just the supporting cast, I think you need to have a rethink and look at it again. In situations where you've succeeded in patching up the team, adding quality so that they can go to the next level. In situations where the likes of Bellingham and Mbappe and Vinicius have had injury concerns, you'd expect the other guys to be able to power the team and continue. But that hasn't been the case. And so it's a bit of a concern that Real Madrid, they have left too many things to chance, took advantage of free transfers, and right now it is looking as if free transfers would be a bit of a headache for them. Maybe the best way to fix that is just to, go proper recruitment way and bring in the right guys and create the right environment for these guys to thrive, rather than just, put them in a place where it is you're gambling what's going to happen next season. Because it happened last season and we thought it was going to be a one-off. That by this time next year, Mbappe would have settled in. Trust me, he has indeed settled in. But it looks like he alone cannot get the job done. And I think for a while now, Madrid have actually toyed too many times with the idea of getting a proper number 9.
Yeah.
I think they've toyed with it too many times. And yes, because they managed to get over the line does not mean it is something they should ignore 100%. The debate of where is Mbappe going to play, where is this one, you have to really look at him and see that he doesn't offer those runs as a number 9, except he has the ball at his feet, and most times he likes to even come from the flanks. Does it from the central areas, but not consistently. You don't see him being that man who's trying to run in behind or drag a striker, drag a defender out of position, and all of that stuff. So he's not exactly giving those movements that a typical 9
he likes to
give.
be with the ball. You know, for number 9s, most of them, for the most part, they might not be with the ball, but for him, he wants to have the ball. He wants to do more with the ball.
And then there's the headache of Jude, based on how he performed the season he joined. We expected the same last season. Fell short below that, but did relatively well. This season turned out to be worse. So he's gone from a fantastic season to a good season, and now to a season that there's almost nothing to write home about as far as, you know, the season has gone for him. Then you want to consider the fact that they were able to ship out Rodrigo, and then he ended up injuring his ACL, tore his ACL, and then that's another problem. That's another headache for them. So if you've actually been able to assemble a Vinicius who's a fantastic winger, I think in his position top 3 in the world, you have an Mbappe there, you have a Jude Bellingham, you have of course the Uruguayan Fede Valverde, all of these guys, you have a Thibaut Courtois. It is only fair that you do your recruitment right. It is only fair. If you think Saliba is the man you want to put in your defense, you want to call Arsenal and say, let's have a conversation. You're not probably waiting for him to play another 3 years when he's 28 and he doesn't want to sign an extension. Is when you're now asking for him to run down his contract
or a farming transfer,
because you know, you're going to give him some certain bonus that would be huge. I don't think that's the way to go. I think if you have reached that level as a top club, you always want to be in the conversation on a consistent basis, and I think this is the biggest reminder they can ever get. Second season back-to-back trophyless, this is the biggest reminder that they can get. Sometimes in situations in life, you need to be taken down a peg or two for you to know that, oh, I'm no longer that person I used to be. I mean, there's a way you feel in your 20s, in your 30s, and one day you try to lift a bag of cement in your 50s, and
I could play ball all day. When
I was much younger.
When I was much younger.
These days they say people play for 90 minutes and they are tired. When I was much younger, I couldn't understand why people get tired for 90 minutes.
You know, I could play. We would tell the timekeeper to go hide the bell.
We play and like I could not explain. But look at it now.
15 minutes. If I play 10 minutes, I'm gassing so hard.
You won't find me playing ball. You will not find me playing ball. I'm not joking. I know to play ball.
090440889, 090410889. Let's go to the 4 lines. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is my brother.
Welcome.
They greet you. My name is Sodi Efosa. Also known as Barcelona person of Kobe. Call me Mayu Destroyer. For Real Madrid, I know feel like you, not be coach, not be some player. You see Mbappe, that guy carry a whole bad luck. Look at the young man where they beg for PSG to stay. He no gree stay. He say he want to go and play for Real Madrid to win Champions League. May I tell you something today? When you do 2 days desperate for something else, you no go get that. I go tell you my story later. But this Mbappe won't win Champions League before. Now he forced himself to go for the move. Not be the move, and now he move himself. Look at the PSG where he come out. They don't win the Champions League. This coming season now, they don't do semi-final again. Mbappe don't come out. So because of that bad luck, he don't carry a go there. So when he go there, he don't carry ego. Go for Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior, where we record a position for Ballon d'Or, he's nowhere to be found. Now, even last season, I'm not sure say he played top 10. So because of Mbappe, can't carry ego enter there. All the players know they like to play ball for him because they know in moment where he called there, he called there to win league, not be to play with Pepsi. He wants to play it. So even to do assist, they play big net ball whatsoever. Because of Mbappe, if he stay there more 3 years, Real Madrid will go trophy 3 years. Thank you very much, my lord.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't even know what to say to what he just said. Agenda now, man. Hello.
Hello, Pemo.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Vicky,
I'm good. Good afternoon. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Angel Michael.
Angel Michael, far down.
Yeah. This guy go trophy Real Madrid, Mbappe.
He never won any trophy now. No, he's not. He's not won anything yet.
No, he's not.
He's not won anything yet. Yeah. Yes.
He has not won any trophy now. Was it not last season?
He came
went
last
there?
season, and he's not. They didn't win anything last season.
Because that thing, I will have money for one place. That's what I'm talking about.
What trophy?
Which trophy? You cheat those people. You cheat those people. You go argue something for where people we don't know they. Which trophy you win?
I mean, they didn't win anything.
This is the second season, isn't
second
it?
Season.
They went trophyless last season. They went trophyless last season. And
hello.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Femi.
Welcome. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon to you. Yes, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Otto Post Patrick. Representing Gowana State Constituency.
Okay.
I think let me correct this Madrid issue. Madrid has won trophy this season. They've won Super Cup. So if you check, they've won Super Cup.
Leave all this one. See the Community Shield now to Super Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no wahala. No wahala.
Yeah, we agree. They've won a trophy. Yeah. Okay. Go on. Is that what you want to say?
Obviously, what he wanted to say. Our guy will not count that one.
We're talking about trophies. We're talking about league.
Champions League. The ones where you play contest for. Which one you just play one team where we end up somewhere? You go say that. I don't have a problem with such, but that's not in the context of a proper trophy that you compete for. No, you never win anything with Real Madrid. I'll leave all this Super Cup. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Gogo Chase Martins calling back.
Welcome.
My own analysis of Real Madrid, to me, is the midfield. Because since the departures of Modric and Toni Kroos, Madrid have not been able to find a replacement or to fill the void left by these two great midfielders, especially in that whole team midfield position. I think Madrid are still, how do I put it down? They are still not been able to find the right player there. If you like, bring the whole Mbappe, Vinicius, and people are blaming Mbappe. I think that argument to me is flawed, because look at that Mbappe's numbers since he's been there. Nobody will say that he has not been able to score goals. He's a forward and he's been scoring goals. But you cannot win matches when your defensive shape is not solid enough. When Kroos was at Madrid, look at the way he used to orchestrate the midfield. Put in that shift. Hold on, play for the attackers, even the defensive player to run into position. I think that has been the problem of Madrid, because they have not been able to find replacement. To me, that's their major problem. Until they find replacement for those guys, they will continue to struggle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I mean, when he joined, they were defending champions of the Champions League. And then they played the Super Cup that season. I remember him scoring in the final in that Super Cup game. And then they went on to win it. And all the conversations were around, he don't come, trophies go choke. But since he come, leave all that one where you win for Super Cup. Well, in this context, we're not considering that. We're looking at the ones he's competed for, not be Super Cup. Leave Super Cup. Super Cup is a trophy. Don't get me wrong.
He didn't even have a hand in how they got to that Super Cup final.
He had just joined and season was going to start. And hello.
It's gone already. All right, we have messages on WhatsApp. Before then, let's see this call. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is George calling from
Welcome.
Yeah, I think this issue of J23. I think these people that are saying that Kylian Mbappe is the problem with Real Madrid, these people are just jealous. They are just shouting wolf where there is none at all.
They are crying wolf where there is none.
There is nothing there, they are just shouting. It's jealous that put it.
Why? How do you know that?
I know that.
No, but tell us. I mean, explain. What do you mean?
Yeah?
You've just accused people of being jealous. Explain what you mean in clear terms.
The guy is an exceptional player. The numbers are there for even a madman.
I don't know what they are talking about.
So if a player is scoring goals,
what are you looking for?
That's all that is needed, yeah?
Yeah, it's one of the best criteria needed now for America. If they have somebody like Kylian Mbappe in their team, are they going to respect it? I don't jealous, leave them.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't always agree that it is down to goals.
I mean, if you had probably put your argument that he's doing his part of this job, maybe other players also have to do their own.
I don't always agree that it is down to goals. You can be scoring goals for your team and your team will be in a terrible place and you can't bail them out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you can make an argument of he's done his own beat. His own beat. Maybe the hierarchy of the club also defensively, like you rightly mentioned the other time, there's something wrong. Back to back talking about that.
There's no right thinking club, yeah, where irrespective of the success you've had in the past or present or the ones you're looking to have, you lose a Toni Kroos and then you lose a Luka Modric,
and
there's no proper replacement for those guys. No, I don't think that's a good way to go about it. Recruitment wise, but you may want to look at other ways that Real can fix this problem. But I think going forward, it is something they must address, and addressing it will determine how far they will go in some certain conversations around what's going to happen. I think they've had it really bad. They've had it bad, and this is the time for them to have a look at themselves and re-strategize. Again, it's not all doom and gloom, but you have to find a way to fix the results and start delivering on that front. I think if that works out, then we'll be looking at a side where we can talk about what they bring to the party and how interesting it could be for a side like Real Madrid. But on the strength of what we have seen with this team, I think there's work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done, and recruiting on Mbappe is not just enough.
Yeah.
This season, address some of these things. Recruit some players. It's also the World Cup year, so you probably find one or two names who will also impress, that you may want to say, okay, these guys have done really well. We want to add this quality to our team. But I think to just leave it there and say, it's always going to work out, I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think that is good enough. You know how you're going into a season, and quality for quality, I think they have, better quality than Barca does. But Barca has a good team. They have a good team.
Very compact.
They have a team compared to Real Madrid. So you don't want to go into competitions and be outshined by a team that is solely on the shoulders of an 18-year-old kid, and then you brag about the quality that you have in your team. What quality if it's not telling on the squad that you have? It leaves a lot to be desired when you talk about the quality, and everyone is happy on the quality that you have in this Madrid side, and it does not translate into the sort of result you expect at the end of the day when you want to put result and match it with quality. I think it is something they must look at.
All right, 090-44,889, 090-41,889. Hello.
Good afternoon, guys in the studio.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. What's your name?
Udo continue on the line.
Welcome.
Right. Go on.
Yeah, I'm very happy to get you this afternoon. It's not as if I call all the time and I don't get you, but most of the time I just listen to the comments and the calls and the observations of everybody.
You have your own chance now to also give your opinion.
Yeah. So concerning the Mbappe, me and my guys, we always arguing about all of this thing. And I'm like, this guy left PSG. Immediately he left, his coach made a comment that he preferred that he will have like 3 forwarders that will give him 10 goals in a season than having just a single player that will be able to give him 31 goals, which is more than the 10 goals from 3 people. That's 31 we are talking about. That is to say, football is not being played by one single person. It has to be teamwork, how you are able to assist others and then integrate with the team, and then the relationship with the board of managers, owners and Kini. So I feel football has to. It's not all about what is showing on the pitch. It has to be mentally about what is coming from the backroom staff. Yes, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So Mbappe has been a PSG, and PSG is looking like an ordinary team. But immediately he left, we have seen a super PSG team. PSG side is playing a fantastic football to the point where this guy, Osman Dembele, in fact, if you go to the local pitch now, all the children want to be like Dembele. All the little children want to be like Dembele right now, like this. So, but if Mbappe is in PSG team now, I'm sure nobody will notice Dembele. And then to the point where he left immediately, Dembele become the Ballon d'Or winner. And before he went to Madrid, Vinicius Junior was almost the Ballon d'Or winner. But these days, everybody is becoming the shadow of themselves in Real Madrid. I am not saying there is a bad luck, no. But I am saying that in a situation where the other players are not feeling happy around you, then there is something that needs to be fixed.
Okay, thank you.
So technically, Mbappe is a problem in a team.
Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to understand where the first off, in case you're just joining us, we're talking about Real Madrid and
not Mbappe in particular.
And well, I mean, before people then makes it an Mbappe situation, no, we're talking about Real Madrid going trophyless or potentially going trophyless again this season. They did last season, and this season they're on the verge of doing that again. And the conversation is that for Real Madrid, how big was the damage of crashing out of the Champions League? And that's what we're really talking about. But then, but I still don't understand the concept of Mbappe being a bad guy. I don't know if he has been a problem to them. I think that he's come on into the team, he's putting his own shift and all of that. The defensive problem of even when they won the Champions League, two seasons ago or 3 seasons ago now with Carlo Ancelotti, the defensive they were still fragile defensively. And even in midfield also, these problems were there already. But the issue was that we still had Modric, we still had Toni Kroos, who was still in that squad, and they were still ready. I mean, still putting their own shift and all of that. But these days, these guys have left, and like you said, they've not been adequately replaced. And so you don't leave gaps and then you expect them to fill up themselves. Yes, you will talk about having the likes of Federico Valverde in the midfield, having Tchouaméni, having Camavinga. But these guys, in terms of the quality of the guys who led that midfield and the guys who you have replaced, or the guys who are currently occupying that midfield, there's a sharp contrast. You can't compare Toni Kroos, Casemiro, Modric to maybe Valverde fits in a bit. Maybe he does the job to some extent.
But again, that was a properly balanced profile.
Yeah.
Compared to what you now have. A bunch of ball winners all over the place, and then guys who can run, and that's just it.
The profile of those three guys is the same. They probably do the same thing.
Ball winners, and
and then you have Jude. Okay, yeah, you have Jude. Even Jude is also a ball winner too. He can actually do that too.
Jude, I think he largely depends on people's game to also click into gear for you to sometimes. I'm not saying he depends on people 100%, but sometimes he needs a bit of that for him to click into gear, and then you see the best of Jude. But in this case, we're not seeing all of that, and I don't think it is out of place for people to be concerned about what Real are doing, and if they are doing it well or not doing it well. But again, these are the issues. I think losing out in the Champions League this season has done a damage that will be largely ignored, but it needs to be addressed as quickly as possible so that they don't repeat these same mistakes. It has happened last season, it has happened this season. Don't put the guys in a place where they think they always have to labor for all of these. And I mean, it used to be the aura of this team are teams. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'll be asking questions about if teams have all of a sudden demystified Real Madrid. But I'm looking at this side now, and it's not particularly inspiring that this is. I think this particular Champions League is damaging for them because, you can make excuses for them because of the injuries they've had and the fact that they've had to change managers, and it has not looked good. But I think it has been damaging, especially not winning the Champions League or reaching the semi-final, which would have afforded them an opportunity to contest and see if they get to the final. It's damaging because you didn't win it last season, you didn't win the league last season, and so at the end of the day, it gets to a point where they no longer judge you by whether you won the Copa del Rey. It is whether you are winning the big trophies. Copa del Rey is the biggest in size anyway, but it is whether you are winning the big trophies, the La Liga or the Champions League. And if you are not in any of these conversations, I think for a team of Real standard, that these are the standards they hold you to, and not whether anybody is going to ask questions as to, did they show up, did they not show up, did they perform well, did they not perform well. No, I think those questions will always be raised, but from what we have seen from Real Madrid this season, I think this is pretty damaging. It puts them in a place where, coming into next season, if they do not improve on the quality of what they have, you do not see them. There was no point this season in the Champions League where you felt that Real Madrid were the best team and they were going to win it.
Nope.
And that's not a good thing for a side that have won it 15 times. So if all of these questions are there around, what can this team do differently? How can they reposition? How can they rediscover themselves and get back to what it used to be? There was a time that Joselu was the man who was scoring those goals, and I mean, the season they won it the last time. Joselu. And this was a guy who at some point in his career played at Stoke City and some of these other places. Again, it tells you how, because some of these things work out sometimes, we get to take it for granted and we say, it doesn't matter where the player is coming from, as long as he's coming from Madrid.
Vicky, because they feel like say this argument, this analysis that you're giving like this now, it be like say they use style, they touch our own here. I don't know how to say it now.
Your ear.
They touch our own for Nigeria.
Which
here.
I don't know about that one, but
I mean our Super Eagles.
I know they did. I know,
but they always talk now.
I didn't have Super Eagles in mind when I was talking about
I'm just
this
saying,
one. Yeah,
it sound like them.
Yeah, well,
it sound like they say, because say you don't do something, it is sweet. You don't come to pay attention to it. You come feel say maybe now you're right.
It works that way most of the time. If you ignore what used to work for you and you feel that you are too good, that we say that a lot in this country, and it's one of the ways you can allow mediocrity to filter in. Ide body, talent choke for Nigeria. Talent. Look, whether we have talent is never the conversation. It is never the conversation. You get in some certain circles where people can also ask you and say, how many world-class talents have you had in your country ever? We were talking, I was discussing with somebody the last time, and he said something that was very funny. Something we used to say, but we've said it too many times and I've actually forgotten about it. We're talking about the World Cup and what the US could do, and Following Balogun is doing well, Pulisic is not doing badly, this one is doing this one, Weston McKennie, and it was like, it gets to a point where the kind of guys who will take them over the line is a world-class talent. And he said there's no such thing as a world-class American footballer. We say that all the time, but in some certain circles where it's not as if we take it serious, but it is the truth. From Donovan till this time, Donovan, who was the crossover king, who made us realize that we can actually look in this direction. So if we're having some of these things now, we're looking at it, it is not a question of, I think by now our conversation should move beyond whether we have talents. It is whether we have a system that can nurture them to be the best of what they can be. Look, you will have to share Nigeria's population into a lot of places to get the quality of what comes, to get the number of what comes out of a country like Croatia. But these guys are always never far from producing the sort of quality that you would see and say, oh wow, these guys, they do have it. You understand? So it's, for a country that is not very populated, there must be something they are doing. But we always think, again, maybe because we don't prioritize excellence. I'm sorry, I'm having to digress and bring it back to Nigeria, but it is just how you let some standards seep in and you just start embracing them, and those standards could actually have a semblance of you embracing mediocrity. You will not know. You just think that ide body, we go always bring boys. We go always. The last time we played at the under-17 FIFA World Cup was when we won it in 2015.
Yeah.
Under-17 FIFA World Cup that we've won 5-0. The last time was 2015. Emmanuel Amunike and Victor Osimhen and the other guys. Amunike led them to this competition. Chukwueze, what's his name? Wakali and the likes. But look at it now for what we have been able to do. But you talk about these things sometimes and it sounds as if you're trying to accuse people of not doing their job. That's not always the case. But again, if we stay long enough in a place, some things will become clearer than they have been, and then we'll know if we are doing the right thing or not. But I think that Madrid have allowed those things to get into what the standard is. Yes, you got a guy like Trent Alexander-Arnold and all the rest, and again, I think they've not. He's also not had such a great season. Trent is a good player. I don't think he's a very good player. I think they just have to find a way around. And the La Liga is not a place where you have to be ultra defensive.
Yeah.
So that's not where my worry is for Trent. It is the environment. It is the environment. I mean, you hear comments like Marcelo talking about when he joined the team, guys like Cannavaro will tell him, go and make your mistakes high up the pitch and you don't have to worry about us. We will protect the back line.
Yeah.
But right now, who does that for who?
You had leaders who were real leaders in the real sense of being a leader.
Like Ramos was that guy. And so you lose a Ramos. Yes, I'm not saying you must have a replacement like him, but did you try to go to the transfer market to at least get a guy that is that good to say, okay, this is the quality we're bringing in for a Ramos? You got a couple of free transfers here and there, David Alaba, Rudiger, and you added that to Eder Militao, who has had 2 ACLs. Raul Asensio should not play for Real Madrid. If we are holding standard to standard, that kid can't play football. Bro.
Oh, you mean he can't play football at that level?
Oh God, that level is beyond him. Way above his abilities or his capabilities. No, he can't handle it. And then you're bringing Heisen from okay, let's say that's one for the future. Yes, but let him come into a team where there are senior men already that he can learn from. And I think this is a costly one, because again, if they repeat this same template for the teams that will probably win or the teams that will come close to winning, you definitely know that people will go to the transfer to try to improve, to the summer transfer window to try to improve on their quality. Now, the more these guys are improving on their quality, the more they are building a gap between themselves and Real Madrid. Yes, Atletico might have beaten them, they might have beaten Atletico and all of that. Barca beating them, they beating Barca too. But Atletico had decided that we didn't fancy we'll go this far. They are in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
So, I think there's a lot that these guys will need to address, which this particular Champions League was going to paper the cracks for them. But it didn't happen.
It didn't. Yeah.
So yes, I think it has done a lot of damage, and they really should get their hands dirty to start fixing things from the summer.
All right.
Danny Ceballos still plays for Real Madrid. Come on, man.
All right, 090-44,889, 090-41,889. And just before I go to the phone lines, the games that are currently going down as we speak, it's still 0-0 between Brentford and Fulham. That game is 84 minutes gone. And the game between Barnsley and Bradford, that's in the Ligue 1, is currently 2-1. Bradford have made it 2 away, 84 minutes gone. And Bolton against
the Championship, you mean?
Championship, in the Ligue 1, yeah.
Championship.
Barnsley against Bradford City.
Oh, no. Yeah. Who's going there? What are you doing there? I thought you were referring to
no.
Portsmouth and Leicester.
Okay, no. And the game between Portsmouth and Leicester is 1-0 in favor of Portsmouth, the leading. 81 minutes gone in that game. Leicester. You didn't say against Parma is 13 minutes Leicester City. 0-0 against that side as we speak. And in the CAF Champions League, my listeners against Esperance of Tunis. That game is 14 minutes gone, 0-0. Who is here? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ayo.
Ayo, welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, according to what is going on with Real Madrid, I see something, when they changed the Champions League, it really affected them. Madrid, they all believe that once they are in the group and they just play in group, after that, move to the quarter final. They almost lost this against Benfica. I think what they need a new defender like somebody like Ramos, and Marcelo, and those guys, they are top guys. But somebody like Einstein, Ramos, those guys cannot, let's look at Barcelona. Actually, I'm a Barcelona fan, and we had a very young, talented player, and in the next 3 or 4 seasons, you will see Barcelona performing at the high level. But Real Madrid, they are full of something like they went to the market, like getting players that is already made and all that. Actually, they have been doing that for a very long time, and it's been working for them, But this brand, everything changed, and you can see this market of the team. They will surely go for maybe Saliba or go for another fantastic player and another. Everything changed. You need to build your team from scratch. I think that's what really affecting them for now. They need to change their ways, and that's my take on Real Madrid. It's not just only about Mbappe and all that. Actually, everybody is expecting that when Mbappe joins, it will really make sense, and because they had this guy, they had Bishop Jr. and they had this guy from England and all that. But it's not working. That's my take on Real Madrid.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for that one. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon, Jamie. Good afternoon,
This is
Danny from Ikorodu.
All right, go on.
Yeah, first I want to thank you guys. You guys are doing a very nice job.
Thank you.
Then I like how you held it down. You're doing a very nice job. And I just want to thank you. I can't say it enough. The best, like the anchor that I know on radio station, I won't lie to you. I love how your analysis are always unbiased. Even me as an national fan, we analyze that in a negative way. I don't take it as I don't see that fans. I listen to you and you are the best. I give it to you.
Thank you, sir.
From me to you. Keep it up, Vicky.
Thank you, sir.
Then let me just talk on the. I don't think my Madrid issue is really. I think it's the tactics and let's say how to manage the players. I think they just need a coach. They need to let's say give the coach time to implement what he wants to implement. First of all, Mbappe is a Florentino Perez. Even Mbappe was a Florentino Perez signing. And everybody knows that, let's say, in Madrid, maybe it depends on the kind of coach you are. It's the Florentino that will determine who is the signs and who they are not. Maybe just two coaches that have that, let's say, money in the bag to determine who they want and who they don't want. Now, you can't have two stubborn dictators in the same team. Vini and Mbappe are stubborn dictators. Dictators that play on the same position. I've heard it many times. That's what Madrid is having. Vini and Mbappe's best position, no matter how I want to describe it, Mbappe's best position is from that left wing, that Vinicius wing. And Vinicius has shown that he literally cannot play anywhere apart from that left wing. Rodrigo, unlike Rodrigo can play from the middle, he can play from the right, can play from the left. But he just been always holding that left wing, like his life depends on it. He doesn't know how to like switch, like move around. If you see sometimes maybe you go to the 7 or maybe go through the middle or something, but he just holding that wing. And Mbappe, just like you were one of you analyzing there, Mbappe is not like your center forward. He's not the kind of center forward that you have his back to the post. It's not like your Solos or your Haaland or your Kane. No, Mbappe is not that kind of a centre forward. It's at least maintain that his best position is from the left wing, which is that position that Vini is occupying. Yes, he might have scored those goals, but I don't think you guys have seen the best of Mbappe until he plays from that left wing. That was where he was playing at PSG and he gave them the best. They need to go and get a centre forward. I don't know how they're going to do it. And I keep on saying that one of Mbappe or Vini has to leave for Madrid to move forward. I keep on insisting. Before Mbappe came in, they won the Champions League. I think they won it with Bellingham and Vini. Bellingham and Vini combined well because they were not driving for the same position. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on. We can hear you.
So Mbappe and Vini and Bellingham, they gelled together. They played together. They were not driving for the same position. You see, Bellingham and Vini, Madrid was born. Madrid beat back at home and away that season also. Bellingham was scoring goals. They won the Champions League and everything was good. So when Mbappe came in, it's like maybe an ego thing or the position kind of thing. I think last I keep on saying they will not move on. The one of Vini or Mbappe has to lead that team. They need to get a centre forward. Maybe they can find a way to bring Haaland over. Maybe they can find a hand over or bring a top striker, someone that is very good over the centre forward. That's what they need. And maybe they move Mbappe because I see them selling Vini than Mbappe because Mbappe has more money in the bag than Vini. So maybe last year they want to start Vini then put Mbappe to that team. But that is just the way forward. If not, there's no way about that way forward for Madrid because if these two are there, they will keep on having issues and there will not be much people who are traveling back to defend. They don't have that people who are going to travel back. When 2-3 people are not defending, they have that midfield lacking and all that stuff. So that's just for me. And for their recruitment, I don't think there's much that they just affected with their injuries. The Spanish guy is good. The guy is good on his day. Military is good on his day. Just like the ACL and all that stuff. So for their left back, maybe they need to do something there. But Mendy is out of it. At the right back, everybody will try to check and give to you. But injuries in and out these days, they need a backup to him. Just like you said, I think you should not be a footballer. Maybe you should be doing something, maybe opening shop or something. I don't think I'm actually a proper footballer. I wouldn't like to. I'm a better defender than that guy. All due respect to him. So it's just a record. It's just a record working. It's a working red card. So I don't know. So that's just it from. So for them to move forward, to get a proper coach who knows his onions, who's going to command respect that team. The one of Vini and Mbappe has to leave. There's no two ways about it. The Mbappe has to go to the left. Then get the top quality centre forward, maybe Osimhen or Mbappe or Haaland. Once one has to go to that centre forward, then you see Madrid is going to be back. They're going to be back. That's just what I feel. Thank you guys for doing a nice job. Keep it up. Sorry, hello.
Yes. Yeah, go on.
So I'm so sorry. Not to digress, but I've been calling. I don't have issue calling it, but this is something I also want to talk to you guys. Please, there a way people can them to check because I've been saying this like for the past 3 months now. Maybe by mistake, I don't know. I'm trying to chat on your WhatsApp. Probably my number was blocked or something. For which reason I don't know. Because I'm not someone that actually come through to call or to chat.
44,889 09044. It's not going through.
I used to try to send my chat in every now and then before. But all of a sudden, if I send, it doesn't even deliver. So I don't know. I'm begging, please, Vicky. Please, if it's possible. I can just chat and drop my messages. Maybe it's by mistake or I don't know.
Please send a message as we speak now. Send a message as we speak now. I'm not sure it's from this end, but just send a message and let's see.
What's the last 4 digits of your number? Your WhatsApp number?
The last time I sent a message.
No, the number you use for sending WhatsApp message. What's the last 4 digits?
Is this same number 081?
No, the last 4. Just give me the last 4 digits. The last 4.
The last 4244.
4244. All right.
44. Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. But try to send a message again. Let's see if it goes through, and then we'll see if it is something we can sort out from our end here. Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, Bob calling from Kano.
You're welcome. Right. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Your analyst can talk, sharp.
Which Hello? Of them? The one who called?
No, not the one who called. The one in the studio.
Okay.
Since when I try call, he just there, and I say, Chairman, answer my call.
We don't answer that now. Yeah, let's go.
Chairman, answer my call. Anyway, my own take might sound a little somehow. It is not just 3 years for Real Madrid. It will be 600 years. Yes.
Now cost me that too.
Man, they do.
Yes. Look. Let's face it. I don't know how it was done. I don't know when it was done, but it was done successfully. The PR we Madrid they enjoy in and out of football is unbelievable. Why don't we talk about that 1960 or the 1961 till 1998 that they were nowhere near the Champions League? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. This same Mbappe issue, it has happened before in the same Real Madrid. We seem to have forgotten about it like it has never happened. Was that not the way they brought Ronaldo da Lima, that he would win the Champions League? That was the only trophy he has not won in his career. They brought him to Spain. He finished what he was doing. Did he win the Champions League? No. That is what is repeating itself with what is doing Mbappe right now. It is Perez that is insisting on so many things, and that is why they will continue to see this thing. And yes, I love what, even though I said your analyst can talk, but he said something very, very key. He said if they had won the Champions League, it would paper over the cracks, which is what it has always done for them. Winning the Champions League always papers the crack for them, and everybody thinks, they are, 15 Champions League, but when I never ever win that treble, everybody talks about. And I'm not sure if they don't win back to what we call La Liga. I'm not sure. I don't really think I'm sure. That's why they are good enough to dominate across all fronts, but no, they've been smart enough to just single out the Champions League, because winning that one would always make it seem like they have performed better than everybody everywhere. Then the analyst said something that they play. He watched one of the games, or which this is not something like or whatever is something like they had won to win the trophy. It has always been like that with them. They have never won this Champions League where they were out and out the only dominant side. Perez is smart. He has found a way, a loophole somehow to make the Champions League be the either smoke screen or placebo effect for them, where whenever they win it, everybody talks about them, and when they fail to, nobody quickly understands that that year we'll look at the problem they had before. This problem we are talking about now, if they win the Champions League next season, nobody will talk about it, whether they have problem or not, whether they need striker or not, whether they need defenders or not. It's always been like that. I mean, like you said, players like Jose Lu for goodness sake. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Jose Lu for goodness sake in Real Madrid. Simply because one way or the other, when they win the Champions League, it covers nearly everything. And everyone thinks that, it is fine. It has been. This problem now that they are facing is because of one thing that is slowly, gradually creeping in. Maybe any of us will not see it now until it is very, very fair. What is it? The way they have prioritized the Champions League above everything else, because the La Liga doesn't really need them to exert themselves that much. That is how other teams have now started, quote-unquote, PSG, have now started to prioritize that Champions League, making it look like they set their whole season to go after. More teams will now emerge with that kind of preparation or mindset, and it will start becoming tougher and tougher for them to continue to just kind of like bounce their way to it, because other teams seem to set their priority on other things as well. Similar to what Man United used to do when Alex Ferguson was there. Okay. Man United cannot fight on all fronts, but he prioritized the league over everything else, and that's why he got it more than everybody else.
All right.
That is what Perez is doing to them now. And this one, like I said, is not 3 years, it's 600 years. What is his name? Mbappe. Mbappe will not win that cup. Leave
that one. Thank you, Bobby. All the way from Kano. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyways, let me go to WhatsApp. Let me take your WhatsApp messages. We have Emperor Casey. He says United Hype Man. He says his name is Emperor Casey and he's United Hype Man. Good afternoon, Brilla Nation. Special greetings to the intellectual, as I call you, Oga Victor. Check out the name now. I beg. Shout out to Femio. Vicky, I think football has hit the reset button. Some are observing while others are locking. We're evolving and revolving as pencil trouser reigned some years ago. But right now, Nabongo bag itself they learn. To win the Champions League back to back again will cost and take you a lot. When last did we see back-to-back winner? I beg, help me check. Good afternoon, guys. It's time to start looking inwards. Wonder kids like the two goats comes once in a blue moon. Grow people. All right. This one says, good afternoon, guys. Trophy na trophy. You don't bend a fact to suit your argument. If he was given a medal for the Super Cup won by Real Madrid, so why removing from his achievements with the club?
Oh, please.
You guys are distorting the verb, blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much, Iman.
Can we just move on from that conversation?
Onicha. All right, my name is Henry Oyeka. He says, good day, guys. Real Madrid have world-class player, but don't have a team.
All this conversation now, you dey embrace them until you reach Emirates Cup. You can't talk to that one and be shy cup. They know they get medal for that one. See, boss. What could leave all these things? All right, let's face what we are facing.
Good afternoon, Vicky and Femi. Real Madrid has really fallen off the pecking order. The major difference is the recruitment and too many injury-prone players. They need to sort out the defense and the midfield. We all know that football has really improved, and you can't run teams over like before. So you need to upgrade almost every time. They need to have a suitable coach as well. Taiwo from Manchester. Thank you very much, all the way from Obodo Onyibo. Mbappe and Vini can't coexist. One has to leave. Sodiq from Ibeju. I think that one of these days, that's a conversation we should have at some point. Because some people believe. I've always had that. So since the first time when I heard that Mbappe was going to move to Real Madrid, I've always had the opinion that I think at some point one of them will have to leave.
See, and here's what I think. Starting from next season, cut your losses, especially now that the Saudi guys are still putting big money on Vini.
Even if you don't want to go Saudi,
just have that conversation with him just in case, because Mbappe,
if you get interest,
Mbappe looks like
the main man now.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to score more goals than Vini ever will.
I don't think that Vini can coexist. Knowing fully
it's not even the coexisting. It is the fact that Vini's game is limited to that flank. His game is limited to that flank. He can chase you down that other line, but it is hard for him to operate from that place, and that for me is a bit of a concern. However, I think that if you have situations like this, I think they got it right with Ada Goulet. Brahim Diaz, I'm not sure, but I don't mind him being a squad player. But I think Kylian being the main man, Kylian is going to, if he stays fit, he's going to give you over 40 goals every season. He's going to give you 40 goals plus every season. I mean, yes. And these are not numbers that Vini would consistently do. So I think at some point in this conversation, it looks like Kylian is the lesser evil you can live with. Especially also having the extra baggage of, I mean, I don't have any problem with you fighting for your rights, but you're too much of a troublemaker these days. Vini, even in situations where they win, you go to say some crazy things, and so yeah, I mean, those are the extra baggages. I don't want to have any problem with him regarding that, but I think that in terms of what we've seen, maybe you want to address the recruitment in a different way where Kylian can still be the main man. But if you're actually going to trade one of them, I don't know, they both want to be there. That's where the difficulty is for me. But I think that these are things that they really need to address. Again, this might be a small aspect in this conversation, but maybe we should not ignore the fact that Vini has also won it at Real Madrid, and so maybe that level of hunger that we expect that he should still maintain is no longer there for a guy like, not that he is not trying to be a world-class player, is not trying to be consistent, but for a guy like Kylian who hasn't won this competition, whether it is in his back of his mind when he's playing the game or not, we're always going to hold him by those standards, because he left one place to go to another in a bid to win it, and then the place you left is now delivering, and then, because I think I've also heard top pundits talk about this, Thierry in particular, Titi, where he talked about how, as long as the team knows that everyone can work for each other, that's one aspect of Kylian's game again. I mean, you really cannot knock him off because he delivers on the front where you expect him to. So in situations where you want him to do the extra track back and do all of that, maybe he will not consistently give you that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about this PSG side where you can't find their weakness.
Everybody
and you just
does,
find that everybody
I mean,
contributes for, you know.
I mean, even on against Bayern Munich, I saw Kylian Mbappe defending.
Exactly.
I
And
saw him defending against Bayern Munich.
again, let's also look at how you're going to solve a problem like what the decision would be after Arbeloa, after the end of this season. Are you going to trust Arbeloa to continue? You think he can lead these guys, apart from leading them on the pitch to play, setting up training sessions and all of that, and tactical plans and whatever they will be doing? When it comes to managing the egos of these players, because so far he has tried to be a nice guy kind of manager,
Yeah.
who has not had anything to say about anybody, which is not a bad way to manage things. But I'm saying that it is not sustainable, because there are times you must have those conversations. Again, there's the manage the egos and manage the players, and then the best of them will come out, right? You can hardly hold it down to say this is how he wants to play and this is how they want to address the situation. The problems Bayern presented them, especially in the attacking front, they could not come up with answers to it. Whether it was Harry Kane, or it was Michael Olise, or it was Diaz, it were problems for the Real Madrid backline to address. Do you know that Arsenal scored 5 goals against them in the Champions League quarter-final without a striker? Merino was the guy occupying that position. Now, it leaves something about the side to, it leaves a bit of questions about how do you ship in so many goals at that stage of the competition, which they also did again this year, shipping 6 over 2 legs against Bayern, if you really want to get to the end. Because I think in cup games, largely, it gets to a point where it is no longer pretty. As long as you win and advance,
that's it.
A lot of people may not be happy with it, but you're shoving it down their throats if you do it at the end of the day. Because, let's be honest, I've watched football long enough to know that at some point, I met people who said the Barcelona style of play was becoming too annoying. And I said, if it is annoying, create something to counter it. Same way, I still hang out with some of my bons and they tell me, oh, your Guardiola spoiled the game. Oh, your Guardiola is I don't argue these things. As much as I agree, I think it's in a positive way. And teams just have to find a way around it.
People generally don't like.
So if you think he's going to build out of the back and you think that's a problem, launch yours forward. And let's see if you are effective. If you get the job done, then we found an antidote for the effectiveness of building out of the back. But don't take it for granted that people and data went into analyzing playing out of the back with the ball at your feet, rather than, because you play it forward more often than not, it is going to be 50-50.
Yeah, it's 50-50. I mean,
it goes to the opponent or it goes to you.
Yeah, you're not giving yourself the chance from beginning already. You're just launching it.
Exactly. You're taking the pressure off the back line. And who knows? If the other team is better than you, trust me, the pressure is always going to come back to that same place you're avoiding it from. So, you want to take us to the days of Backman? Because Backman that year, not to clear anything with it there. No let anybody pass. That's why we still have conversations like blocking 4. Because people believe that as long as you are the DM, everything when they come, you go block.
You have to rebuff it.
You know fit. Nobody fit. Ball go pass you. I mean, yes, a lot of guys can be effective. I mean, I saw Claude Makalele. I saw a lot of these guys. I saw N'Golo Kante.
I don't even think that exists anymore.
But, bro, it is changing. And you don't have to do it the way it was done years ago. There must be things you want to change about your game and you will adjust to. So, I think Real, they really need to have a hard look at themselves in the summer and address some of these things. I mean, they have some of the best guys, and when it comes to recruitment, when it comes to scouting and all of this stuff, I think they need to find a way to bring all of this together so that they can properly earn good results for when these players eventually enter their prime. You can maximize the prime of these players and not just have them play this, and when before you know it, they are 29, 30, and then that's when you are trying to. I'm not saying at that point in time you cannot win something, but let's enjoy their prime, and then we can look back years later to say, okay, how many trophies were in the bag when these guys were here?
Yeah. All right, let me take final round of calls, and then we are going to pivot into something different from this. But then, let's talk to this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. You are doing a wonderful job.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you. What's your name?
The Sports General.
Sports General.
I'm calling from Abuja. Sports General. Calling from Abuja. Honestly, I'm enjoying you people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You people are doing a wonderful job.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Honestly, you know, when you want to analyze Real Madrid situation, anything you put there, you enter. Because I heard some people say that they need to go and look for forward line, top 9. I asked myself,
are you there?
PSG, did they have top 9? It's the same way PSG. It's the same way Mbappe is playing first 9. The same way Dembele is playing first 9. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
And he's working for PSG, and he's not working for Real Madrid. Why? Because Real Madrid are playing individual football, and PSG are playing with information they understand. Yes, understand the information, which is 4-3-3 formation. 4-3-3 formation. What Madrid are not playing the same way. They are playing and Kylian Mbappe, 2 man front, 2 staging players up front. You ask me, say that they need to fix the defense line. Why? Witness many teams, both in the league and in Champions League, winning the league. Maybe more than 45% of club winning the league or winning the Champions League in many years without being good in all departments. You must have watched the team with good defense and win Champions League. I have watched the team with good attackers win the Champions League. You ask yourself, where in Madrid, what's the Madrid department that is working? It's only the goalkeeper department, because they have the best goalkeeper in the world now. I checked their defense line. It's not working like a big club defense line. I checked the middle of the park. The middle of the park is just big name there, but they are not playing like a team. I check the attack. I see big names collecting big huge amount of money week in, week out, smiling in the back, walking like an ant, like eating like an elephant. Are you hearing me?
Yes, go on.
The player that they used to replace Kylian Mbappe, Kylian Dembele. Do you know that facing Dembele now is dangerous than facing Mbappe? Because Mbappe will give you a lot of goals, but Mbappe is not creating for the team. Then Dembele will score 2 goals or score 1 goal and create about 5 chances for the teammates to score. That makes PSG dangerous because of that makes the team dangerous because you don't know who will come to score for you. But for Madrid, if Mbappe is not score, he will reverse the claim like Ronaldo. As far as I'm concerned, Kylian Mbappe is a good player, but he's overrated because the first national team that won the league,
World Cup winner.
Yes. Everything, all the honor goes to him. The World Cup winner, because they have a good midfielder. N'Golo Kante work on the midfield. Many players working on the entire midfield in that World Cup. Coming to PSG, he was feeling like a president of PSG. He will be the one to play the penalty. He will be the one to play the free kick. He will be the one to tell which coach they will bring. He will be the one to collect the big money. He will be the one to tell the coach who the ball, who to buy and who not to buy.
Okay.
Coming to Real Madrid that have won it all. Real Madrid is a slap to Vinicius Junior face. Vinicius Junior have worked for Madrid many years, and this Mbappe have not tested Champions League, and they bring him to Madrid, and he's earning the glory more than Vinicius Junior. He's earning the glory more than Vinicius Junior. Do you know that as Madrid is today, they prefer Mbappe more than Vinicius Junior? For me, if they want to work, one person needs to lead each other there, not because of they don't have top 9. I have seen many teams win Champions League without top 9. PSG that are no toughness and is working for them. You know, take away in Madrid and put Olisa in that Real Madrid. They will give you more results than what Mbappe is giving you now. As far as I'm concerned, they need to bring a tactical coach that knows how to work with what is have and take a decision for these two players, because I'm seeing these two players can't work together in one club because two of them are selfish players. Two of them cannot work in the same club. Thank you very much, my lovely brother.
All right, thank you.
Thank
you. But please, it is also fair not to rain on people's parade, especially their achievements. Don't ever say it anywhere that Mbappe is overrated.
No.
Don't ever say it anywhere.
And
that he won the World Cup because Kante was there. Please, he got to another final. They lost out in penalties. Kante wasn't there.
And he said something. I see. So sometimes I know that we're passionate, right? And when we're passionate, we tend to say things that sometimes sometimes funny. You said, Dembele can is a creator. Mbappe cannot create.
That's a lie.
That's not true. If you go and check the number of assists this season that two of them have had, it's only one difference. Dembele has had in the league and also in the Champions League. Dembele has had 5 assists
in this year's Champions
League.
Yes,
has had 5 assists, and in the Champions League, in fact, in the Champions League, he has just 1 assist. Dembele has just 1.
So let's leave this. There's nowhere in the world you are going to have that conversation of Kylian Mbappe being average.
It's not.
That's a world-class player right there.
It's not. All right.
Time and twice on the Sunday.
Let me take this question. It says, "Good afternoon, Brilla. Please let me analyze. Let me analyze against big games from my. I don't understand.
Rosinho.
How did we get to Rosinho now? What?
Bruh. No. This is not a request show, please, bro. We have talking points. When we probably get to Rosinho, we'll talk about it.
All right. This one says, Real Madrid president is the number one problem the club have.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's the reason they are there.
It's that Real Madrid president's biggest problem is the big number one problem of the club. No good signing in some department. Mbappe is the number 2 trouble problem of the club. No discipline, and no team to the work. Lack of best midfielder in the team is the number 3 disappointment problem of the club. I'm Javi STC from Onisha. Thank you very much, all the way from Onisha. I really wish I understand what you're trying to say, but thank you. This one says, "Good afternoon, B." From Olu in VGC. You just sent in good afternoon. Maybe you're
okay, Olu, good afternoon to you, man.
Okay, but you didn't put a message. You didn't put a.
We'll greet I'm back now.
Thank you very much. He says, "I'm Enrique from for Real Madrid to succeed next season. Mbappe or Vini must leave the club." All right.
I don't know, but
you see, I have this as we get to the end of this conversation. I don't know. You said something about Vinicius Junior the other time. You spoke about maybe before winning the Champions League there was so much hunger, from his end towards that. But that's not even where I'm going to. But do you think that some of the off-field issues in terms of the racism, the way sometimes it causes trouble and all of that, and all of those, do you think that distracts him now?
No, I don't think so. I also do not want anybody to measure how he reacts to issues about race. Yeah. Please, people are different. There are people who will tell you suck it up and just go. There are people who will not accept it. This is where I've lived most of my life, and I've never had to face a thing like that before. And I don't know how I will react if anybody makes me feel that way, because just say I did queue one day, they try buy food, then jump us, they attend to one guy will come minutes after us, and he was clearly he's not one of us, let's attend to him. I'm like, so the rest of us, our clock now 48 hours for one day, you think we don't have this? See this place, what go happen here, they not go ever open here again. Now the say when I was boosting, when I was being serious, so the child just look me second time, say, I beg, answer this brother, I make you go. And the answer does, because I wasn't smiling. I mean, if you know me, most of the time you see me, I smile. I mean, I probably always laughing more than, except when I'm asleep. In fact, I wake up sometimes and I just see a message and I laugh, or I remember something and I just laugh. I mean, but you don't want to be in that place where this becomes the case and somebody is asking if I do not want to react to how talk about how he reacts to that particular aspect of his life, but I think he's a bit of he has become a bit of a brat when it comes to issues like this, especially when he's not winning. Vini will be all over your face. Vini would try to get under your skin. If you react, it becomes an issue. Sometimes just don't give him the opportunity to do that. And it's not so easy to do, because as a coach, you also want to, after training your players, you also want to start giving them ideas and giving them, okay, this particular person is problematic. He will try to get under your skin as much as possible. Try to manage him. Don't fight with him. Don't do all of that. Yes, but I think the last time I saw a team where he really wanted the fight and nobody gave him that was the quarterfinal against Arsenal at the Bernabeu last season. He was spoiling for it and nobody gave him that, and I think after a while they just knew that okay, it wasn't going to work, and they just let it slide. But at some point I felt they were coming together really nicely and it was looking good for them again. But sometimes there's a way your home form goes and it trickles into your European form, and then it affects everything. For Kylian and for the team in general, I think Vini has done really well. I don't want to say this, but it's just a suspicion that I have, not backed by facts or anything, but I think his form has dropped off a bit since that Ballon d'Or conversation. I think he's not being that same guy. There might be other factors responsible for it, but that's because the way you look at football forward, right? You expect that if a guy does 10 goals this season, he should be topping it by at least 5 goals next season, right? So if the person doesn't do up to that number or does the same number, you say, okay, he's shown some level of consistency. But if he does less than that, it raises questions about, why is this person giving us less than we expect? And that's why we are in the Salah conversation, first things first, because for a guy who was carrying them over the line last time out, in the days they had bad games, you definitely will not know. And sometimes also, some of the things you learn are things you learn outside what your coaches tell you. They are things you learn outside what your coaches tell you. Most cases, they tell you, have an idol, have guys you can watch, have players you watch how they live their lives and all the rest. I remember something Salah said last season. I'm sorry to digress, but these conversations have the way they expand into other areas. He said when Arsene Wenger visited them 2 seasons ago, when Klopp was about to leave, that he asked the man how he can improve on his game. Salah, we don't win everything.
Yeah.
He ask the man, say, how he fit take better pass like this? How he fit take improve on his game? He said the guy told him, that Arsene told him, that there are days where quality players are not at their best, but they seize the moment. Because you will not always be at your best.
Yeah.
But there are days you should seize the moment and make it count. He said that's the difference between the rest of the pack and those 2 other guys you are looking at. Of course, we know the 2 guys, right? So they can have a bad game, but they will just have that moment where they decide the game. And we've seen it in a lot of matches where top players ghost for most times, and then they just pop up and score the goal, and that's the end. I mean, you will not see Chicharito in the build-up. You will not see him anywhere. But wait, maybe the ball don't enter box. His movement was brilliant back in the day, and so I think Vini, I don't know who his mentors are. I don't know the guys he talks to. But I feel he should slow down on a few things. I feel he can be.
The way you sound, it's not like a very elderly man that's trying to talk to. They're trying to talk to a boy that you will not hear. But let me just say it, Sha.
Because attitude and behaviors can be the same everywhere in the world. For instance, we know that once you are making money, the money footballers are making these days will probably not make them listen to those who played 5-10 years ago, or 15-20 years ago. Maybe the same thing obtains in Brazil. While he agrees that Ronaldinho is the father of them and Kaká is there and Rivaldo and all the other guys